Senator Scott, when people ask me that question, why are we there, my short answer is Google Sudetenland 1938. Hitler could have been stopped and 55 million lives could have been saved. To me, that's the most compelling argument. If Putin is successful in Ukraine, then we're going to be facing threats in the Baltics, Poland. He's said that he wants to rebuild the Soviet Union. General, I just want you to know that the concern about tanks is bipartisan. I'm very frustrated that those tanks, they ought to be sitting in Rzeszów, Poland right now, ready as soon as the training is done. This counteroffensive that everybody is talking about, it's the longest wind-up for a punch in the history of the world, is going to be trench warfare, and it's going to involve tanks. That's why the tank was invented at the end of World War I. If our tanks don't get there until August or September, it may well be too late. And so I just want to urge you to urge, I know you both have done an amazing job of logistics and working with the Ukrainians and integrating and supplying them with what they need. But this tank story is not satisfactory. The decision's been made. Okay, then let's get ready to execute it and cut through whatever the red tape is. I know you got to do the training, but the tank should be sitting there on the Polish border ready to go when that training is done. So I just hope you'll take back that this is a bipartisan concern on this committee. That coming in at the end, after the counteroffensive is just that will be looked on as a tragic mistake. I learned 5 years ago that the Russians have a doctrine called escalate to de-escalate, that they will use tactical nuclear weapons if they believe that they're about to have some kind of catastrophic loss on the battlefield. You were asked earlier, but I want to put a finer point on the question. Isn't it at least within the realm of the thinkable that Putin would use tactical nuclear weapons if indeed he felt that Crimea was at risk, or if there's a significant breakthrough by the Ukrainians in the south and east?
Thanks, Senator. It has certainly been mentioned by members of the Russian government as well as by observers on the Russian political scene. That is the potential or the possibility for using nuclear weapons.
And this is part of their military doctrine going back before this invasion.
Yeah, yes, sir. The exact conditions under which they would do that, I think, are not completely known. And might not be completely known to them. They might look good on paper, but then when the moment comes, it might be harder to decide. Well, we have some insights into it, Senator, that I'd be, of course, eager to share with you in closed session. But again, as I said a few moments ago, our deterrence, our escalation management so far, as well as our deterrence, have held very well so far, and I feel comfortable where we are right now.
Deterrence is the key. They have to understand that there will be a response that would be very costly to them. Deterrence is the heart of our, as you know, of our entire military strategy. Iron Dome. Wouldn't Iron Dome help? Why don't we have Iron Dome in Ukraine?
Sir, Iron Dome clearly could help. And the things that we have provide help also.
Oh, I agree. But Iron Dome seems to be particularly calibrated to the kind of low-level attacks that are coming in by drones and missiles.
Yeah, I can't speak to exactly why Iron Dome in particular is not there, sir. If I could defer that to the working group that develops those solutions.
I would, if you could take that for the record, I would really like to know, because we certainly helped to fund the development of Iron Dome, and it just seems to me that it fits in this situation, and we've moved Patriots in, and as you mentioned earlier, air defense is one of the most crucial things that the Ukrainians need. So I would like if you could take for the record some thoughts on how we could move forward with Iron Dome.
I sure will, Senator King. Thanks.
And you talked about China. It seems to me China can play either a useful role or a destructive role. And the jury is out on which direction. We've seen some hopeful diplomatic moves in the last 24 hours, but if they start supplying significant material to the Russians, that also could tip the balance in the wrong direction. Would you agree to that?
I absolutely agree with that, Senator.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.